Back in the book segment tonight, our pal Glenn Beck, causing his usual mayhem in the Lone Star State, both on radio and TV. He joins us now from Dallas. So, Beck,
I don't even know what that means. My dear, good, old, emphasis on old friend. How are you, Bill?
I know I'm rapidly aging, but you would be too if you were #1 for as long as I am. All right, now your assessment of the debate last night, Beck.
Oh, my gosh. It was good. It was actually good television. It was infuriating at times. They talked substance. They actually mentioned Hillary Clinton, who they're actually going to be running against, which I appreciated. I thought, you know, I'm sick of the, well, did you hear what he said about you? How do you feel about that? I'm sick of all of that.
Right.
But I thought the two winners last night were Cruz and Rubio. I thought Rubio did really well. I thought Cruz handled himself really well. I think Donald Trump, I don't understand the Donald Trump thing. I mean, what is, honestly, if you ever watched my show,
yes.
Do you remember when I used to talk about how the progressives were in the Republican Party as well? That's Donald Trump. Remember when I said the pendulum would swing back just as far the other way, and you'll have a guy who's a great showman, you'll have a guy who will say nothing just like Hope and Change, and you'll be for it? Warning. Do you remember those shows?
But look,
here he is.
You're taking
it's Donald Trump.
Okay. But Trump, you know I've known him for a long time.
I know.
He's not an ideologue. All right, so when you say, well, he was a Republican, or now he's a Democrat, or
he voted for Obama in 2008. Come on, Bill.
You have to understand something.
Yes.
At his point in life back then, in 2008, all he cared about was putting up another building or two. He wants a hotel in Washington. He got the hotel in Washington. Okay? So all of his prior political commitments.
So as long as, what you're saying is, as long as it's in your interest, you can do whatever you want.
I'm not justifying, I'm explaining.
No, you don't have to explain it to me, Bill. I'm not a moron.
You're not?
No,
believe it or not.
I mean, I get it. I understand what he did. I just think that's where did the people who actually stood and said, you know what, we stand for the Constitution? This week, Donald Trump said, let me tell you something. Those executive orders that Barack Obama is, I'm going to get rid of all those. And the reporter said, so you won't do executive order? And he said, no, I'm just going to do good ones.
But when you think about it, that's
Barack
a pretty good
Obama
answer.
Thinks he's doing good ones too, dude.
Look, Donald Trump is a unique politician. He's unique.
Yes.
You cannot put him in any other category. You either like him or you don't like him.
I can put him in a category, and he fits perfectly there. He is perfectly in the progressive politician.
See, I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe Donald Trump is a progressive.
You haven't believed me when I said the caliphate was coming. You didn't believe me when I said Barack Obama is a Marxist. You didn't believe a lot of things. Trust me.
Listen.
I got this one down. Progressives, I know. He is a progressive.
I don't believe it, but if you're right,
here's the evidence. Here's the evidence, a simple evidence. He believes that the government isn't the problem. He believes the wrong people are running the government. That's what a progressive believes. That's what Woodrow Wilson talked about. That's what I talked about. Philip Drew, administrator.
That's what Bernie Sanders believes.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and I'll cede you that point, but where you're making your mistake is Trump doesn't care about the government per se. He's a problem solver. He says, I'm going to solve immigration by building a wall and by telling China we'll tariff you.
Exactly the point.
Right.
He's an administrator. That's exactly the point. He doesn't care about. When's the last time you heard him talk about the Constitution in depth?
He's never going to talk about the Constitution in depth. Never.
When he raises his right hand, what does he say, Bill? That I'm going to get things done. Or does he say, I will protect and defend the Constitution of the United States? I'm sorry, I know you weren't with me when we did Tea Party stuff, but there were millions of people that joined the Tea Party, and I would like to see where they are, because that's what they said they were standing for.
I just don't think you're getting Trump's essence. It's all about blowing up the establishment. It's about two things. Blowing up the establishment, which he succeeded in doing on the Republican side.
Who's for? Wait a minute.
Problem solving.
Wait a minute. Who is suddenly for him? The establishment.
Oh, they're scared. They don't know what's going on.
No, they're not. Because you know why? Because they know he is a deal maker. Donald Trump will make deals. Whatever's in his best interest, he'll make a deal. And the establishment knows that. He is all about exchanges and deals. Ted Cruz is a guy who says, I'm for these principles, exactly like Ronald Reagan was. These are the principles, and I'm going to be tethered and tied to these.
So when everybody is Cruz your guy?
Yeah, Cruz is my guy.
Cruz is your guy.
Cruz is my guy.
Would you, if Rubio wins, would you vote for Rubio?
Yeah, I would vote for Rubio. I have real deep problems with Rubio, really deep problems.
But you have deep problems with me, Beck. I mean, you have deep problems with almost everything.
No. There's therapy issues with you.
Don't go to therapy, Beck. I like you. You're my pal. You don't need to go to therapy over me.
You're my pal.
You're my pal.